any white person who was born, raised, and schooled in the United States of America, if you aren't a racist, you're a miracle. Because education in this country is about white is right, brown's all right, black's gotta stand back.
Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian. In today's video, over the last couple of weeks, I have been making a lot of videos condemning and criticizing the way a lot of YouTubers have been behaving. And a lot of you guys have been unhappy with the fact that I have been berating a lot of these YouTubers with a complete disregard for the feelings of the people that I'm speaking about. Now, of course, I'm not going to apologize for that, or else you wouldn't be watching the Unapologetic Negropian. But let's face it, all YouTubers are up for criticism. Everyone, even me. So in today's video, I'm going to be critiquing myself over a video that I made some 10 months ago. It's a reaction video of a reaction video of a video made by E.S. Now guys, before you go looking for that video, I've taken it down now, okay? There were lots of pictures on there and yeah, well, I changed it. But a lot of you guys saw it anyway, right? If you would have watched it all the way through, there's a few Easter eggs in there. E.S made a video some 9 months ago. Vanessa Kanbi, who is another YouTuber from the United Kingdom, then made a reaction video to E.S.'s video, and then I made a video reacting to Vanessa Kanbi's video. Today I'm going to go into the particulars of these videos. Look, I'm going to be analysing the video that I made some 9 months ago, because, you know, I think I got it wrong. I only know this now due to hindsight. So we're going to try and break this down, but first I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, and please consider supporting us on our new Patreon, link in the description. So to start off with, of course, my favorite girl, E.S. She made a video some 10 months ago. I think it was a live video actually, and in that live, a lot of people were asking questions. One person asked a question about interracial relationships and what she thought of them. And I'm kind of hoping and wishing that she didn't take this down, because I think she has locked it on private. I think she's locked all of her lives on private at this present moment. So I wasn't able to get you a copy of the video for you to see. But essentially, she went through a monologue, a really profound monologue, talking about why everybody is welcome on the African continent and why people in interracial relationships should not worry at all. This monologue was really powerful, and I could really feel it, being as a person that's myself, being in a interracial relationship. And it was that day, I think, that I felt a deep connection to E.S. I realized that she was a lot more than meets the eye. At last, I felt like somebody appreciated the fact that people of all different colors and races and ethnicities could all join and be as one in this land known as Ghana, and that we could all go back there. We were all welcome, no matter what, and she would be there waiting to heal us, which I just felt was something so profoundly beautiful. I think E.S.'s monologue struck a note with every black YouTuber who is in an interracial relationship, because straight after that video, Vanessa Kanbi, another YouTuber from the UK, made a video all about E.S.'s video. She poured praise over E.S. Vanessa Kanbi herself is also in an interracial relationship. They make a cute family actually. Nice couple. Vanessa Kanbi did not delete her videos, so I am able to bring you a few clips out of this video that she made regarding E.S.'s video. So take a look at this.
I'm Vanessa Kanbi, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the hate that I get for being in an interracial relationship, and also for being born out of an interracial relationship. My mum's from Scotland and my dad's from Ghana. I was born and raised in Scotland, in Edinburgh. This is such a difficult video to make, honestly. I've literally tried to film this like 10 times now. I'm now married to My husband is white. I now get hate. Basically, people say that either I'm trying to exploit Africa because I'm married to a white person. You know, I don't really like Ghana, or ridiculous things. I mean, the comments. The other day I got a comment saying that I use skin lightening cream, and I was like, I'm mixed race. I believe people should love whoever they love. I know that racism exists. That doesn't mean that every single white person is like that. You know, like, so it's so hurtful for me for people to always say things on my channel about white people when obviously my mum is white and my husband is also white.
You know, I found it profoundly beautiful to see this person who is essentially laying her cards out towards people who may be jealous of her or just angry with her because she is apparently light-skinned. She's mixed race, so of course she's lighter skinned. Misogynists or racists or whatever. She had all these types of people who she's exposing herself to on YouTube. So it took some real strength from her to come out and say, yes, this is the man I love. This is the person who I'm going to stay with for the rest of my life. And I do not apologize for that. However, as a person who is B1, yes, I called myself B1. We'll get back to that later. I didn't agree with everything Vanessa had to say. I didn't agree with the fact that she said that her husband isn't racist, because she obviously doesn't understand what racism is if she doesn't believe that her husband isn't racist. So I explained on my video about racism. It's better if you hear it from the horse's mouth. Take a look. Today I'm going to make a reaction video about Vanessa Kanbi's reaction video to eatlovemigrate's video on interracial relationships. I too was born in the British Isles. I was raised there too, in Birmingham. And I too am in an interracial relationship, as I take a different stance on the view of interracial relationships and being pro-black and taking those relationships to Africa. Now I am pro-black. I'm very proud to say that I am pro-black. And I know there are many people out there who will refute that I am pro-black because I'm in an interracial relationship. However, there are a few points Vanessa brings up in a video that I don't quite agree with, and I'm going to be frank and honest about this. White Scottish men are racist, and it's highly likely, even though he's with Vanessa Kanbi, it's highly likely he's racist himself. Now let me explain. I always bring up a lecture from an American educator by the name of Jane Elliott. Now she herself has said that all white people are racist. Not some, not a few, but all. And she explains that you have to accept this in order to work on changing it, and even when you do change it, you will still hold a part of it inside you. There's nothing you can do about it, but accepting it will enable you to be at peace with yourself and at peace with those of whom you are racist towards. Now, I believe that 100% fully, and so when I hear someone say that they are not racist, it means they obviously don't understand what racism is. Talking specifically here about the United Kingdom, as this is the country that I've predominantly lived in. There are many interracial relationships whereby one of the people who are in that relationship, or sometimes both of them, are anti-black racist, just outright racist, even overtly racist in the UK. But let's be honest and let's be frank, her husband is a white Scottish man, and it's likely they're going to live in cold, rainy Scotland for the rest of their lives. Be unapologetically you, but please keep your white sentiments out of Africa. We don't need anybody coming to Africa singing Kumbaya. We need militants. We need the African diasporans who live vicariously through their color. Yes, racism is not all about being called a WOG on the street. It's also about privilege. It's quite possible that Vanessa Kanbi's husband could be racist and doesn't even know that he is. Yes, racism is subjective and it is also multifaceted. You've got to be really careful when you're talking about whether the person that you love hates certain aspects of your ground or your heritage or your ethnicity or your race, because it's highly likely that could be possible, and that person may not know that it's deep down buried inside there under all this moral excrement. So it's a really deep subject and cannot be blased off with, oh no, he's not racist, he's never done anything to me. It just doesn't work that way. Coming off the subject a little bit, I also say this. That's right, I am B1, and a lot of people who watched this video wrote in the comments section that I was somehow crazy or deluded. They said, how on earth can you be B1 and date outside of your race? How is that even possible? It is possible to be B1 and date outside your race, like it is possible to date outside your race and also be racist towards that particular race. Me being B1 was subject to what I felt, and that's what it was all about. It wasn't about how other people perceived it. It was about how I perceived it, how I saw what being B1 truly meant to me. I'm not worried about anybody else's opinion, and I don't need anybody else's validation. I am B1 and I am very proud of that. So I also bring up where she lives. Now, she comes from a part of the UK which, oh my gosh, I'm trying to put this polite. It's the grubbiest part of the UK, okay? She comes from a place called Scotland, right? And I have no apologies saying this at all. I hate that place. I just can't understand why people would live there. Really, it's an absolute dump. Has anyone ever been to Glasgow? For my American friends, right? You know the projects, right? You have the projects. Imagine the projects back in the 1980s, okay? Now, imagine the projects filled with drugs and crime and everything else, right? In the projects, terrible place. Well, we have something similar in the UK, and it's called council estates, right? We have council estates. These are low-income houses and properties where people live and are normally subsidized by the government. They live in these housing estates. Glasgow is like a whole city, a whole council estate. It's like a city that's a project. It is the worst, cruddiest hole that you will ever go to. Really is. I can understand why people are miserable up there. It's one of the most horrible cities in the whole of the UK. Okay, I'm not sure. I don't think Vanessa is from Glasgow. She's from Edinburgh, I believe. But Edinburgh isn't that nice either, if you know what I mean. It's nicer. I should stop putting down Scotland, but I dislike that place. I think the last time I was up there was 2 years ago, and I just got this vibe whilst I was there. And if you're a black person, you go to Glasgow, you will find that vibe. It doesn't matter actually where you go. You could go to Glasgow, you could go to Edinburgh, go to Dunkirk. It doesn't matter where you go to. Scotland is like, I don't know, even the people there, they're like, the type of racism you get there is the racism that you got in the 1980s in England. It was crazy. It was like I was transported back into time. It's just, you know, it's just a place where you would not bring up your children. And this is what I questioned in my video. I was like, wait a minute, you know, it doesn't matter how much money you got. If you got good dough, fair enough. Then why aren't you leaving? Why are you living in Scotland? Why are you subjecting your children to the same upbringing in which you had. I mean, she says in her video that she had a terrible time growing up with a lot of racist attitudes up there in Scotland. So being B1 is about your state of mind. Being pro-black is also about your state of mind, okay? No one can tell you what is going on in your mind, okay? No one can tell you when you walk into a gas station, right? You go inside a gas station to buy fuel, or you drive past it, okay? Because you know who it's owned by, right? Nobody knows that you do this. Only you know that you do this. You don't go around on YouTube every single day writing down a list of the things that you did that certified you to be B1, okay? It's not just about marrying a black woman. It's not about that. Clearly, you saw the other day the video that I made about Nak Sleazy. You saw that. You saw what he's been doing behind his wife's back. How is defiling your marriage being B1? It isn't, okay? It's not. Marriage is sacred. The perfect partner for you could be out there, but you could be cutting out those best ones because that person is too light-skinned, or because that person is too dark-skinned, or that person is of a certain ethnicity, or that person is of a certain religion. I'm not going to do that. I would never do that. I don't allow society or the sheeple within it to dictate my life. This is my life, and I would never allow somebody else to control that. This is another thing that I think Vanessa Kanbi gets wrong. She started putting out all these messages which people were writing her, messages which you could tell were hurting her. Why do you think those messages hurt her? Those messages hurt her because she cares. They hurt her because she cares about those people who are saying those messages, which is a beautiful thing. She respects them. Because if you don't respect somebody, you're not going to care what they say, right? You're not going to care what they say. You're not going to mind how they feel. You're not going to care about their opinion. Their opinions are going to be irrelevant. But when somebody says something nasty to you and it hits you, that means you respect them, because whatever they said means something. I truly believe that she needs to start caring less about the people who are making these nasty comments. So while I fall short of saying sorry, I will admit that I did make quite a few mistakes in this video. Partly because I think I could have been a bit more empathetic towards her situation, but mostly because of her mental health at the time. I didn't know that she had any problems with her mental health, but once again, she openly admitted it in public. This is someone who is extremely strong mentally, who is fighting demons that we cannot see. And for that, I really do have to say that she is an extremely enigmatic person. And she is extremely brave for doing what she is doing. I think everyone should take at least one leaf out of Vanessa Kanbi's book. That's all I have time for today. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'd like to give an extra special thank you to my Patreon subscribers, and I will see you in the next one. Until the next time, please think twice, ta-ra a bit. Stay safe out there, and hopefully I'll hear you again in another one. Ta-ra a bit.